everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing a 30-minute session for Lush today. We've been working on facing inner demons. I'll put links in the description if you want to check those sessions out. Today, the request is a healing style session with the brightest star in the Pleiades, and I'm just going to pronounce it as Alcyone. I don't know how to pronounce it. I swear. I even listened to the pronunciation and now it's not clicking in my head again. Was it Alcyone? Why can't it just be named Al? Like, we should just call this star Al. You can call me, I'll call you Betty and you can call me Al, right? Isn't that a song somewhere? Paul Simon? All right, Alcyone. Okay. I'm ready for this. Thank you so much for this, Lush. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm gonna relax now. Get tuned in here. Healing style session. This bright star. Weird, it's bubbling. It's like bubbles. So it's kind of like looking at the sun and the way that maybe an artist would draw the rays of light. It's almost like the light's reaching out to me. And in these streams, like, we see them as flat like lines, you know, or just beams of light. They're like bubbles inside of straight lines. And it's completely soft and gentle and silent. It's pretty surreal, the sensation, to be honest. I mean, I'm present with you. You and I are one. You are facing the sun, the star. And how am I supposed to put words to this? It's like a beckoning. It's perfectly silent, but it's saying so much. And it's calling your name. It's calling out to you. It's welcoming you home. That's what this is like, okay? I feel like, believe it or not, it's like it is its own intelligence. It is its own intelligence. And when I say that, literally, it's like ultra smart, okay? Almost like a technology. It's almost like a technology. It's beyond imagination in its intelligence, and it is like a technology. What if it was man-made? Or alien-made? Or what if it is a natural phenomenon? What if what we would define as natural phenomenons are a phenomenon inspired by some sort of intelligence that creates a technology that now we call this a star? Okay, my guys are showing me some other images here. They're kind of giggling about this. They show me it's a bathtub, but it's not like, I mean, it's a high-end luxury experience, and the water is still. Now let's say we add some Himalayan salts and some beautiful scents, some scented candles, something like this. Let's say we add some, I don't know, other ingredients to the water that are rehabilitating to your skin, and a sensory experience that you're going to inhale into your being, and it is to soothe and to relax you. You could say that that is like a recipe for relaxation. There's no technology involved or intelligence involved in this. But what if it is, it's brilliant? What if it is absolutely intelligent? You could say, that's ridiculous, that's a bathtub, there's some salts in it, it's not intelligent. All I can say is the weaving of the basically it's like weaving weaving the manifestation of this experience that is absolutely transformative. And this bright star represents a weaving of a profound kind, the manifestation of something that is profoundly transformative. What if our idea of technology is it has to have parts and pieces? It's like a cell phone or a laptop or an engine. It's built, it's handcrafted, it's made. You wouldn't say that my homemade chili is a technology. We wouldn't say it like that. We wouldn't perceive it like that. That is food. Food isn't a technology. There's something profound about the energy that this emanates, and I feel that it is beyond our intelligence to comprehend the intelligence of itself, and it is absolutely a technology. It's almost like its purpose is to provide assistance for the betterment of one's life. Isn't that why we have technology? It's to support our day-to-day life tasks and the well-being of life itself. It does feel handcrafted somehow. All right. Boy, I have a feeling this is going to go way over my head, but I'm going to try my best. I feel like I feel overjoyed. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I feel like there's so much, and all I can access is just a tiny little bit of a bigger picture. And yet I am surrounded by the bigger picture, so I'm accessing it all right now. But I can only express through this human body and this human voice with this English language and this amount of emotions and thought processes. I can only help you to access so much of this. That's what it's like. Okay, my guides are like, okay, let's just start with tell me the first thing, tell me the first thing, tell me the first thing. And so let's not get overly consumed by this, okay? I experience pure whiteness now. And I'm going into a very soft but bright white light. And it's spherical. And I don't see emanations of fire or emanations of light beams or bubbles anymore, okay? And when I go through this, it's not like a sun, it's not like a star, it's like a dimensional doorway or a technology of some kind. It's like a something. And when I go into the center of it, I can sense there's like millions of people in here, okay? This thing is also this is freaking me out a little bit because I can tell it's impacting my own ego, because I can tell there is the use of what could only be described as a mirror or reflection. The tool of reflection exists here. That is to help you to see yourself, okay? Obviously, if we are going to see our true self, we could quite blatantly be terrified, okay? And so I can tell that is here because I can feel fear when I come into this space, and there is nothing fearful here at all. It's like being afraid of a doctor or a dentist because you don't really know why, but you need to get your teeth worked on or whatever, but you're just scared to go. It's like what is that fear, you know? It could be like a fear of speaking in public places. Why is that there? Why does that exist? I just choose to shut off my mind or shut off my feelings. But they say, no, you need to be present with yourself, and that includes being yourself. That includes being as you are. It's not about trying to be the best you can be, like your best presentation of who you are. It's just being who you are. And that includes thoughts and feelings. Don't turn anything off. So I'm really going to shift gears here because this is about you, okay? So I want it to be presented as through your eyes, through your senses. You immediately, how you see this is lots of beams of white light coming out of a white sphere. But you tell me it's like you're gravitating to the center and you can never reach it. And the white sphere shows you a mirror which is behind you, and that there is a whole world behind you to turn around so that you can see it. But in your mind, you do this and there is nothing behind you. And you say no to this fear. I must continue to go into your depths because the mirror that you're showing me of what is behind me, I do not see that. I don't see that at all. But it says, but you never looked. You just imagined you looked. You imagined that you turned around and you looked and you saw nothing. You have to stop looking at this Alcyone star. And you must turn around so that your back is facing the star and then see what is there. And for some reason, your mind can't conceive of this direction. It keeps insisting that it did turn around. Why is that happening? This is reminding me of a thought I had recently about how strictly in reality can we be, and how strict to what we see and feel and experience in the way that we express that detail for detail without variation or without over expressing something. How true to the ornate specific detail can we get? And sometimes we over exaggerate and don't realize that we're doing it to make it more interesting or to avoid how it really was. So we just say how we wanted it to have been, but it really wasn't that great. But we want people to think it was as great as we wanted it to be. It's weird. It's like you're not able to acknowledge that your imagination is creating the reality that you didn't actually have. I'm stopping time and I'm going to help you with this. Because we're going to stop looking at the star, we're going to turn our back on it, and we're going to look in the other direction as it guided. And then we are going to see, and if nothing is before us, that doesn't mean that there isn't something there. Now we need to clear out the aspect of your mind that is blocking your vision from seeing what is actually there. This is profound here. What we're talking about here is profound. Is it possible that in our human psyche, that how would I put this? We aren't capable of seeing everything. And only in time can we understand it through life experiences and allowing ourselves to admit the truth, okay? So you could even use like a narcissistic personality as somebody who refuses to admit the truth of their faults or what makes them lack. It's okay to not be the best or the most perfect, because you really aren't actually. Would they allow themselves to hear that? Would they allow themselves to agree? Would they allow themselves to see that? Or would something in their mind not tolerate the truth because the truth is too painful and they don't have a means to digest it somehow? So is it possible that in every single one of us, to some degree, we are struggling to see the truth somewhere in there? If we could find a technology that would help us to completely see as articulately as it really is, without anything subconsciously in the way, like this is human awakening. I mean, this literally is the definition of human awakening. This is the definition of opening your third eye. It's not just a psychic thing. It's like being able to see the world more clearly than you did before and saying, oh, wow, something isn't right here. Oh, something, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, well, that's a conspiracy. You're living in a fantasy. Like, and then you find it more comfortable to just believe that everything is fine when something is definitely opening up to your mind that it isn't fine, okay? So it's that kind of concept. What I'm echoing back is that it feels to me, Alcyone, that you are wanting to support Lush in like a third eye wash, or the ability to see more clearly reality is going to enhance and improve your life path. You know, it's going to do that for everybody, but I mean, this is literally what you're asking for, and this is what echoes back. Okay, let's get to the process where I'm going to turn you to face. Your back is to the star, okay? All right, this Alcyone is really here with you on this one, because your back is to the star, and instead of seeing another planet of people, it's lush and green. I mean, I literally saw what in the reflection was literally another planet with people living on it, or even stars in the sky. Like, no, none of that is what we see. We actually see a room, and there's several people in this room. And I'm asking, is this real, or is this a projected fantasy that's materializing somehow? What is this? And you shut your mind off. And this is a slight dream state. This is a serious, this is the first time I've ever seen this. And I feel like on some level we all have this going on somehow, some way, on varying degrees. Where we are present, we are seeing, we are paying attention, but some aspect of the dream state is activated, so we're not completely present. My guides say to go into the what appears to me like a dream stated projection, okay? And it's basically made out of clay and liquid, because it wants to mold and shape itself like clay, but then it wants to wash away. I feel I have to close my eyes because I don't want to be distracted by what I see, because I feel the presence of your inner child here. And I feel that you are existing beyond, in several layers beyond. You are behind a few layers of the veil, okay? And you don't want to come out, and you're scared. This is like an inner child self that has been harmed. And I see what is like, it's the best way I could describe it. Imagine being a kid, like 3 or 4 years old, and learning what is the truth, and learning what is a more appropriate truth, which isn't the truth. It's saying, it's preferring you to say it like this, and say, instead of saying it exactly as you saw it. But there was also a degradation of the spirit of who you are. And it feels like the concept of what is the truth was damaged. And you were to blame for it. And this became like a change in your comfort zone with how you would choose to see and then communicate what you saw based upon what was the most emotionally safe way to live, to grow up. And this star now is becoming so bright that it's a bit blinding and intimidating. It's asking you to come out now and to return to face the star. All it was asking was you to turn around to actually to create the action and to do the action and to try to explain what you saw, or to acknowledge that you saw something, or acknowledge what actually happened in your version of reality. And then send that memory back to the star so that it can communicate with you about it. You're angry and you're stuck. The anger just gets stuck. And this is in between like an inner child you and a present day you. But they say this isn't a present day you, it's more like a past you. That's yet another echo of the present day you. I'm going to let the star decide what we do next based on what I'm witnessing. The star says it needs more direction from within yourself, Lush, so you decide. You say that once you turned your back on the star and you witnessed and felt and sort of became a part of what the next experience was, it's almost like it's hard to return, as in to face the star, to keep going into the depths of it. It's almost like to know the star is to journey to the star, and to journey to the star is a long path of what is rebirthing your mind, your emotions, your body, and to work with what is this star technology in order to redefine yourself. It's like to purify yourself. I see images of the bath again, and it's like this heavenly bath. Anybody could create it in any mundane bathroom, but it's creating it. It's putting your heart into the creation of it. It's really giving something of worth back to yourself, and then rehabilitating in the worth that you gave back to yourself. It's soaking it up, you know. I didn't just throw some ingredients into this chili recipe. I made it with love, you know. Like, it then becomes a technology. Like, this is helping guide you to being the most awakened, high-vibing human you could ever know yourself to ever be. Like, I don't even know if the words could define what that represents, what you would represent as that. But you have to continue on the path. So the star tells me the next part of this is the challenge of facing the star again. And so we don't just stop here. We notice that the next thing that is sort of like in the way is you are afraid to face the star. So are we choosing to face the star again, or are we not? You say that something of what the star is reaching in your mind is creating a panic. I say then tell that to the star so it can help assist with that. You say that part of the fear is you see yourself as one of these millions of people in the star, and that the star is just a big stomach that consumes souls, and that it's the greatest evil of the universe. And I say, then tell the star that. And I kind of echo back to you, that's exactly what ego does. It creates this illusion of reality. Now something that is purely angelic and here to help you is becoming the scary dentist or the scary doctor. It's not actually real. Again, we're talking about the mind. And how do we feel completely aware of everything that is the honest truth, so that everything in this world is clean, as well as ourselves and our communications, our interactions, our perceptions of things. You say, so I have to work with trust, is what you say, Lush. I have to work with trust because some level of trust will be required for me to overcome my fear, because I really truly believe this star is trying to eat my soul now. I say, well, do you choose to trust the star? You say no, and an echo comes out of you, and the echo says, I choose to kill this star. I choose to destroy it. And my guides show me it's basically a dream, but it's a projected reality where you take a knife and try to, it's like a dream though, because you reach the center of the star and it's a heart, and you stab the heart many, many times until it stops beating. And then you wake up from the dream and you feel terrible, like you just feel awful inside. And you're sweating and you're panicking and you're crying and you're saying, what was that? I say it's you working through facing a fear that it's an incomprehensible thing. Like you just have to keep taking one step in front of the other. And stay as honest as you can on this path. You have to stay as honest as you can. If that was scary to you, if this is making it hard for you, then tell the star that. The star says that it's like, even if it represented the most loving, like Mother Mary standing before you, you would end up seeing, potentially your mind would end up seeing this as the devil or something. And that's ego. That's ego getting in the way. Why would any of us be afraid of something so purely nurturing? So that's what this is about. Helping you to see clearly. But the next level of this, which is what I'm understanding, is helping you to let nurture in. Nurture is not the dark side, right? Nurture is the angelic side. Any part of your ego that is angry and stuck in the inner child and felt rejected when it needed to feel nurtured, now rejects the nurture at every cost because it's still stuck in time in the past. We got to heal that so that you are open to this truth. You are open to the truth of what is actually happening here. What is actually you are accessing. It's changing now. And this is giving you a headache. Particularly, like, here's your center of your forehead, but then you kind of come over just a pinch above your left eye, okay? You're really angry and you're starting to cry, and you're really angry about certain memories that you have unresolved. And you're sorry, you say you're sorry to Alcyone for the dream event and the stabbing, because really you think that maybe what was going on here was Alcyone was representing what you weren't able to have. And maybe you chose to blame the star when it wasn't the star's fault. It was just the hurt that wasn't healed from your inner child. And it just came through in this dream. And Alcyone is showing you, it's like the mind is such a complex place and it takes time to heal. And that as you are on this journey, it is going to have moments of clarity when you've worked through those tight spots, and then moments of resistance and what could be fear as you're being presented with the next angelic gift, that your ego is choosing to resist it until we can get into the depths of different veins of your history or of your memories in order to heal those parts, in order to help you to see clearly and become that much closer to the star. Because I see in the end result is you and the star are just hugging each other and smiling bright, and you're so happy to be in each other's presence. And it's just so warm and familiar. And the star is helping you to find, it's like to align with, you yourself are a technology, you yourself are full of light. And any little black spots along the way, that the light, we're going to let the light get into those spots and help that to inhale and exhale the light, help that to heal, which is going to help you feel more safe and secure and more strong and more bold in the light that you are. Because in a way that you want to be a representative of the star as an incarnate being on earth. In order to do that, you must go through a purification process, which keeps echoing like this heavenly bath, but we are bathing in the light of the star. And it is reaching vulnerable parts of your history, of your memory. It is going to make your ego feel very uncomfortable at times. It seems you're ready for this. It seems you're ready for this challenge. And I feel like, you know, when you're asking to face your inner demons, I feel like this is also a part of that process. This light is going to help to heal what created, you could say, veils of your thinking or perception that you aren't aware of, or resistance of the love that you really want to have a hold of. And it's going to help get into these deeper places, these challenged places, and it's going to get the nurture in there to help you to feel cleansed, purified, brighter, and more clear in the way that you are thinking, perceiving, and feeling, and being present in the world as your full-fledged self. I feel like we've made incredible strides here. And this Alcyone is a phenomenal expression. I'm just like so moved by this. I'm going to definitely be, I am going to be following in your footsteps here, Lush, and I am going to take some time to go visit the star for myself. I will say the sensation of purity about it is, it's like knowing what fresh air is like every day, all day. And that life could be as easy as breathing, you know, it's like easy breathing, relaxation or meditation. Like it's just so, there's nothing else here but that feeling. It's like feeling super clean or feeling heavenly in the bath and winding down in the nice smells and the candles, and it's just refreshing. That's what the star is like to visit. It's very refreshing like this, but that refreshing then gets into the wounds, and then it touches the sensitive places and creates then the projected fear in order to heal that, in order for you to feel that much closer then to the star. That was phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm still blown away. It's like hard to let go of this. Thank you for sharing. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all have a very wonderful rest of your day.